Oh, welcome to our latest review. My name is Jason Parker. I am the editor and webmaster for Friday the 13th franchise.com. And today we're going to take a look at NECA's brand new Ultimate Friday the 13th Part 2 Jason figure. And this review is going to be a little different than our past reviews. We're actually going to do a comparison and take a look at the differences and similarities between the latest release for the Part 2 figure and the old figure that was released back in 2006 as part of the 25th anniversary of the film. And what NECA had done back then is they released a 25th anniversary box set, which included Jason, an assortment of weapons, as well as what you can see right now, the shrine that Jason created for the film for his mother, Pamela Voorhees. What we have is differences that are pretty apparent, but also some similarities as well. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at the original figure first. And as I mentioned, it came in a box set. Also, it was the Jason figure was released individually as its own figure with a few less accessories than what the box set offered. So let's just take a look at that first. As you can see, the shrine, for the time still is very detailed. It has Pamela's head, has her clothing. It has the decomposing body at the base of the shrine, which, of course, by now most people have learned or discovered is actually Alice's body after she was killed in the opening of the film. Jason, at some point, took her body back to his shack and almost, gave it to Pamela as a offering. So the base is really cool. The stands that I currently have the original Jason and the new Jason standing on, those came with the anniversary box set, and they're actually really handy in displaying the figures today. As you can tell, and as many of you are aware, the original Jason figure almost has no flexibility or posability at all. The sculpt itself is pretty much one solid piece. You can move the arms a little bit. The left arm at the shoulder you can move, and at the elbows, and that's about it. So you can tell this is an older sculpt. There wasn't a lot of emphasis placed on ball joints or creating multiple poses. So you can see the mask is it's pretty, especially for its time. The sculpt is actually really good, and you can remove the head and put on the head of Jason without the mask on, and you can see what's being deemed as the hillbilly Jason look. We're actually going to do a comparison between the earlier sculpt of that head and the one that came with the new Ultimate Jason here real soon. The next thing I wanted to do was just kind of go over the weapons that came with the figure, and as you can see, we'll go from right to left. You have the spear, you have the machete, the pickaxe, the pitchfork, and then an axe. And most of these came in the new figure, but we'll get into that comparison real soon. So I guess the next thing we'll do is we'll actually take a look at the new Jason figure before we do the comparisons. And one of the first things I noticed was the color. As you can tell, the original figure was a little bit brighter. The blues pop out more. And as you'll see in a moment, even the head sculpt for Jason without the mask, just the colors, everything just looked really a lot brighter. So I'm not sure if NECA decided just to tone it down a bit and make it a little bit darker, the new figure with its colors, or if they were going off of something that they saw in the film. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at the different head sculpts and here. We'll do individually. So as you can see here, that sculpt, as you can see, is a lot brighter. the hair is flexible on the original sculpt, which you didn't see a lot of even back then. So that's a nice addition. The head sizes are pretty much the same. Side views. One noticeable thing is that the ball joint was included in the head itself, and that's what you had to, that's how you pop it into the body. The new release, and you can take a look now, see how the color is much more faded down. I guess you could say it's more natural in tone. And the ball joint actually is stuck in the neck of the figure to pop the head onto. And then if you take a look at the Jason figure itself, one thing I noticed too, it seems to be a bit taller than the original figure, and I don't know if that's just because of the stance of the figure where he's kind of, you know, his leg is kind of protruded out, kneeling down a bit. Maybe that's why the figure seems a little bit taller. But on the figure itself also, one of the things that's nice is the coveralls on here. They actually are actual, it's actual, like, I don't want to say real clothing, but it is something that it's flexible, so the coveralls are actually separate from the flannel shirt itself, which is kind of cool because with the original figure, like I said, it's just all one piece, it's one sculpt, whereas this here you actually have the coveralls are actually separate from the flannel, which I really think is great, and it lends more believability and realism to the figure. And as I mentioned before, the original figure really doesn't have any posability, but on this figure here, the knees can be bent, the feet can be swiveled around, the legs can be maneuvered at the hip joint, and as well as the arms can be, both arms can be moved at the shoulder, at the elbows, and at the wrists as well. So let's take a look at the accessories that come with the new figure, and almost everything comes with the new figure that came in the box set. You get the spear, the pitchfork, going left from right. We'll skip over one, we'll get to that in a second. You have the pickaxe, and then also we have, it's kind of hard to tell in the plastic, but there's also the butcher knife from the scene that he uses with Vicky. Now, the one weapon that has always been a part of controversy in the film, and that's this weapon here. Now, that's not the actual machete or an actual machete that people are accustomed to, and it's not the machete that came in the box set. Now, there's been a lot of different terms thrown around for this weapon, and this weapon was seen in the scene where he's hung upside down in the rope in the trap, and then Jason cuts his neck while he's hanging upside down. And people always are upset about that scene, or there's a lot of controversy about it because everyone says that Jason used the dull side of the blade, and why did he do that? Why didn't he use the normal side at the bottom of the blade? And there's been a lot of people who, over the years online, I've talked to, who've contacted the website, who said that that's actually a different kind of machete. It maybe not be called that. I've heard different terms, but the sharp end is actually on the side, and the blood is actually on this weapon is on the side that that is supposedly the sharp edge. So I like that they included that specific weapon in this set, especially because it's so controversial. I kind of like that. Also, the figure comes with Pamela's severed head. Now, that severed head also did come in the individual Part 2 Jason release, part of the Cult Classics line back in 2006 when it was released along with the box set. So, you know, and it's almost the exact same sculpt too, if I remember correctly. And then also a really cool addition to this set is the fire pit with the flames. Kind of just gives a nice campfire feel. If we ever were to get a Paul figure, you know, you could have him sit next to the campfire and kind of reenact the infamous scene from Part 2. So yeah, that's the Part 2 Jason, NECA's brand new Ultimate Edition. It comes with an assortment of accessories, some old, some new. the new fire pit, which is a great addition. I really enjoy that. But yeah, it's a really great figure. I think it's a great improvement over the original. If you have this base set, this box set, the 25th anniversary set that was released, I think he goes really well with that set as well. And one other thing I guess I wanted to make sure is in the background here to the left, that's the box that the figure came in. And of course, this is the original Part 2 poster design that was created for the film that eventually was thought, or originally, and then the producers decided not to use it because they thought it spoiled the look of Jason before people had a chance to see him in the film. That is the reason why they decided not to go with this this poster art. And then there you got the back, which is a great design just showing the figures. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, comments, make sure you leave them down below. The background, if anyone's curious what these are, to the right, that's the Japanese Laserdisc for Part 2. And then in the back with Crazy Ralph, that's the Part 2 RCA CED disc. And we have an article about that home video format too. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it. That's our Part 2 review. Definitely get out there, pick yourself up the Part 2 Jason. It's an excellent figure with a lot of great accessories. Big thanks to NECA for creating the figure. And that's it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time.